Next on BNI Mid-America TV, it's the Gold Club Member Spotlight Show. Gold Club members have sponsored 6 or more people into BNI, and they are here to share their secrets with you. If you want to improve your inviting techniques, then this is the show for you. And now, our host, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to the Gold Club Member Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Jennie Bellinger with Level Up Coaching LLC, and I am here today with Tammy Derrigan, a member of Platinum Referral Partners, and she is one of our newest Gold Club members who was recently inducted into the Gold Club. So she is brand spanking new, and but she's not new to BNI. She's just new to the Gold Club. So Tammy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, awesome. Tell us a little bit first about your business and your ideal client.
Well, I am a realtor, and we all know a million realtors, but I specialize in investment property. So pretty much 99.9% of my business is working with investors. So if there's property that is going to make someone money, that's my jam. So it can be single family homes, packages of single family homes, which would be rented out. It can be retail rehabs, kind of like what you might see on HGTV. Those are fun because they're pretty at the end. It can be 2 and 4 family flats. We have a ton of those in St. Louis. They're wonderful and a great entry point for a lot of people. Apartment buildings. My sweet spot at the moment is 10 to 20 units. It could be apartment complexes. It could be mixed use where you have retail or offices on the ground floor and apartments or offices above that, which is a really wonderful way to go. And it can be smaller commercial. Like I don't do large office complexes and medical complexes and things like that. But for instance, one BNI member needed a place to house his own business, and he wanted to have some extra space to rent out for like smaller offices and co-working. So we did that, and he actually just finished the rehab on it, and it's good to go, and it's gorgeous. So I'm super proud to be a part of that.
Oh, how cool is that? Really nice. Well, really, can you tell us a little bit about that location and just,
Sure.
Help another BNI member get some spaces rented? Why not?
Sure. I wish I could remember the name of it. He has a really cool name that is kind of new, so it's not sticking out of my memory, but it's in St. Peter's.
Okay.
And Noel Buckingham is the BNI member. He's wonderful. He has a pest control and critter removal business called Buckingham Pest Control. And he lives in St. Peter's, so he wanted a location that was close by where he could house everything and have extra space. We found a property that used to be a daycare. And it was owned by a bank. The previous owner had, I guess, not kept up with the payments, and it went back into ownership by the bank. It wasn't listed, but I found the owner, and they were amenable to an offer. We ultimately came to, an agreed upon price, and everything was like pretty smooth after that. And Noel and his son-in-law and a few select contractors did all of the work to take out the many, many, many tiny toilets and tiny sinks.
Yes.
I've never seen so many tiny toilets in my life. So, obviously there was a lot of work that had to be done to convert it from a preschool to an office setting.
Right.
And there was some zoning stuff that had to happen. He put in a fabulous new sign in the front, and it took longer than I think he wanted, but that's pretty common with, rehab projects, but it's good to go now. So he is housing Buckingham Pest Control in about 2/3 of the building. And then the other third is, I believe, 5 like individual offices that people can rent. So if you're a solopreneur and you need a place that's away from your house with 5 kids doing homeschooling,
Yeah.
It's perfect. And it also has co-working space. So if you maybe don't need like an entire office, but you need a place to kind of get away, but also be with other people and maybe have a place to receive your mail, which can be a
Mm,
big thing. And
yeah.
this is really, really wonderful. And while we're talking, I will look up the name of it because it looks beautiful.
Oh, nice. Well, this sounds like a really great BNI success story, which was my next question. So that just transitioned absolutely beautifully. Gotta love that we can help promote not just you, but also another BNI member in this process, which is really freaking cool. So now you've been a Gold Club member for just a few months.
Mhm.
When you joined Platinum Referral Partners, you helped bring in and sponsor six or more people during that process. Tell us a little bit about how you prospected people to help grow this brand new chapter.
Sure. Well, okay, so I was in a BNI group previously called
Hmm.
BNI Prime, and there was a building process that happened with that, and a very similar process happened with Platinum Referral Partners, but a little bit different because Platinum Referral Partners launched right in the heart of COVID,
Right.
and we actually made the decision to start and stay virtual. So our weekly meetings are on Zoom. So it's very, very different in some regards to BNI Prime. However,
Hmm.
the principles were the same. Think about who we want in the group, who do I know who maybe could fill those potential seats, and then filter out anyone who maybe doesn't get networking, who perhaps is too busy or just not inclined to get that giver's gain, think about other people's businesses and how can I help them grow, because that's not going to be a productive recruit. So
Right.
didn't bother with them unless there was an opportunity to introduce them to someone who was speaking.
Hmm.
So, like even if someone isn't a good potential member, they can still benefit from meeting other people in the group and vice versa.
Right.
Um, and they bring their networks. So even if they only visit once, if they hear something that speaks to them, they may make a great connection.
Oh,
And I have a
yeah.
good story about that in a minute if you want. Um, and then invite them. And an hour and a half, not counting the pre and post
Networking.
socialization.
Hmm.
That's a lot for some people to consider, but you know what? It's less difficult for them to say yes to via Zoom because
Hmm.
they're skipping the half hour or whatever drive time that it would be. And so it's like, hey, I know you live in Chesterfield, but just log on and meet some cool people, talk about your business, and let me know what you think. Of course, if there is a seat to be filled in my chapter that they could fill, I'm going to follow up with them to see, especially what they thought. But if it's maybe not a great potential recruit, I still want to know what they think and
Right.
see if there are some further connections that I can facilitate. And some really cool things have come out of that. But I love to get people who want to join the group because then they're going to know my business better. They're going to know the businesses of all of my teammates, and they're going to be an extended sales force for all of us. And then we get to do that. And the way I
Mm.
think about it, and not everybody does, I realize that, and that's cool because we're all individuals. I think about if I have an opportunity to make an introduction to someone in my group, that is potentially going to grow their business. It's going to
Mm.
make them know that I hear them and I see them and I get what they do. And if it results in business, fantastic. But probably I'm also making the introduction because that person can solve a problem or maybe open some doors for the person I'm introducing them to. And that's cool. I find that being that connector, being that resource, being that problem solver makes me even more valuable to my clients,
Mm.
and I can help them have a better experience with real estate investing potentially, or maybe help them in other parts of their life. But if they have a better experience and it's less difficult to be that investor, then they're probably going to stick around in the investing world for longer. And some people try it out, so it's not a given. So, if I can help them have an easier experience, it's more likely they're going to be successful, be less stressed out about it, and they say yes to more opportunities.
I I agree. I mean, I think it's so easy. I mean, some people, I hear a lot of people, not all people, but I hear a lot of people, saying they're so over Zoom and whatever. But there's a lot of us who really find a ton of convenience and efficiency in our productivity and being
Hmm.
able to network in this way, especially for those of us who can do business anywhere in the country. Because I know you and I have had a one-to-one
Right.
before. You don't just work with people and investors who are local to St. Louis. You've got clients
Hmm.
who are literally all over the country and some of them
Yeah.
around the world, right? So that opportunity to reach outside your typical local area has allowed you to really build and grow your business because you're helping investors from all over invest in our local economy here. So that's really
Right.
cool.
So it's interesting that you bring that up. I would say probably 65% of my clients don't live in the St. Louis area. Some of
Hmm.
them don't even live in the United States. So, but they're investing in St. Louis, and they
Right.
need people on the ground who can go do roofs and HVAC and whatever. And, the out of state people probably don't need accountants and things like that, which they can get wherever.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that have to be St. Louis based. So, they need those connections and referrals even more so than the local people.
Right.
And you introduced me to tell me what it was again. I forget what it's called, but it's basically like it's an international forum.
Oh, the referral exchange on BNI Business
Yes,
Builder.
the referral exchange. I was like, well, that's interesting. So I went and kind of explored, made a couple of posts. I ended up having a one-to-one with a woman in Chicago who's a commercial lender. They are my best referral partners.
Nice.
And so she's a commercial lender, and she actually does some other interesting stuff as well. But we had such a great conversation, and I connected her with my sister, who's a commercial architect in Chicago.
Oh,
Go figure. So that was amazing. And I highly, this is not the point of this podcast, but I highly
that's okay.
recommend doing that.
Yeah.
But to your point about Zoom making it convenient to do business with people all over,
Hmm.
when I was in BNI Prime, we met in first in Richmond Heights and then in Brentwood, pretty much the same area. We would never get people from Lake St. Louis or Edwardsville. Too
Right.
far. It's just too far. And I get it. I wouldn't want to go to Edwardsville for a weekly meeting, nor would I want to go to Lake St. Louis.
Right.
But in Platinum Referral Partners, because we're on Zoom, we can have people who willingly do these things. And so we do some in person stuff. Like we have a monthly lunch bunch, and we can do one-to-ones in person. We can do social events in person. But our weekly bread and butter is on Zoom,
Yeah.
and you don't have to drive. And that is super convenient for some people.
Hmm.
Not going to lie, sometimes there are some tech glitches, but I think
That
overall
happens.
it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tammy, I know that you are extremely busy, and I so appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to share your BNI Gold Club experience so far as one of our newest members here and sharing the story. Like, hopefully, did you find the name of Noel
I
Buckingham's
did.
thing? What's the
I
place called? Let's
It's
promote
called
it.
the Heritage Small Business Hub, and it's on
Mm,
Facebook at Heritage Small Business Hub, and that's it. And you'll see some photos of the place. And, I know that he has a couple openings for small offices. And then the co-working thing is always going to be an open thing because it's it's not a static audience. And Noel is probably the best landlord anyone could ever have.
Well, that's really good to know. Well, I'll make sure to link to the Facebook page for the Heritage Small Business Hub so that way people can go check out some of the work that you've helped our other BNI members with. So thanks again, Tammy, for being a part of this. We are so lucky to have you here. And I hope everybody stays tuned because there's another Gold Club episode coming right up.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Have a wonderful day.
For more information on how BNI can help you build your business, book your complimentary consultation with Virginia Moose-Keith at discoverbnimitamerica.com. BNI Mid-America TV is brought to you by the Bergman Insurance Group, your trusted source for Medicare information, education, and enrollment. Be sure to check out the show notes for additional information on how to contact today's host or guest about their business, and thanks for watching.